Are you still here? Every time I do one of these, I'm like, well, they'll never come back. That's it. I've just really, they're like, this is the worst motivational speaker I've ever heard in my life. Uh, this session is about how to start on this journey. And what you should understand is that on a journey of freedom, once you've gotten to this point and you said, yes, Sage, I do want it. I do want it. Then you don't need me to tell you how. I mean, I just imprisoned you. Well, what you need to do is you need to get a business like mine, and you need to do this, and then you should get a house, and then you should do that, and then you should do this and that. No, 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 no. You are now the Messiah of your life. I am not the Messiah of your life. You are. Welcome to the responsibility of that bullshit. Here's a guy. There you go. There's a guy in a Volkswagen. I might say, don't get an old Volkswagen. I mean, it's cute, but I see him broken down on the road all the time. I saw a guy with it looked like his grandkids, this older guy and like two younger kids in Yellowstone National Park in this sweet, cute Volkswagen bus, busted down on the side, steam coming out of the front. The hell are you? You're in the middle of Yellowstone National Park. You're hours away from anything. But whatever. Look, if that's your dream, get the fucking bus. I don't give a shit. Do whatever you want. I'm just telling you. Your radiator should work. And carry a spare tire. I see. Now there you go. There I go. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Confucius said, or something like that. But it's true. You need to take a step. The thing I see most people doing is that they are just not doing. They read, they talk. But you need to take a step. And then they're like, well, then I'm going to need this. I'm going to need this. I'm going to need a Land Rover. And I'm going to need this camper. And, and they make it so difficult that then they can't get anywhere, And so they just consequently never act. And what I'm here to tell you is that you must do something, and even the smallest step counts. Jerry Seinfeld came up with this calendar, like a year-long calendar. I think it has a name now. This is just off the top of my head, so I can't remember it, of course. But he had a calendar of all the days in the year. And every day he did something for his comedy career. He put an X in the day. Anything counted. And what you wanted to do is you need a whole line of X's. You can never let the X's stop. Because if you don't do something, you can't put an X. So you got to do something. And that's a really powerful way of achieving what you want to achieve. I would also recommend that you get around like-minded people, people that believe in your goals. I'm not going to tell you to abandon your family, to get a divorce. You may be in a point in your life where you cannot do this, or as fully as you want. You can always do something, but you might not be able to quit your job. And may I say, don't quit your job. Do not quit your job, okay? I worked 2 full-time jobs for years, a real job and my business. I could do 40 hours nights and weekends easy. Easy. I see many people quitting their job, and then they get stuck. And then your dream doesn't come fast enough, and then you end up in a worse position than you were. You are going to work harder than you ever want. If we're talking about being an entrepreneur, you keep the regular job and you do another 40 hours. You do another 40 hours. Now, if you want to be a digital nomad, like maybe this person here in this lovely picture, then of course you quit your job and you figure out how to live as minimally as possible. You become a minimalist expert. You figure out how to work camp, how to camp host. You figure out that scene as deeply and intensely as you possibly can. Money is not an excuse for that lifestyle. It's not. I mean, it's an excuse. It's the reason why you won't do it, but it's not why you won't do it. You won't do it because you're afraid, or you really like the other things more than you like this. But what I will tell you is that starting is starting. And a good place to start is to determine what you want. Do you want to be self-employed? Do you want to be a full-time traveler? Do you want to just take a 2-week vacation? What do you want? What do you want that's different from today that you want different in the future? What do you want to change in your life? You have to define that, and you have to write it down, and you have to look at it. You have to put it on your mirror so you see it every day of your life. And then you have to do something about it every day of your life. And I'm sorry, but talking about it isn't going to cut it. I'll give you a few weeks on that if you want, but eventually you're going to have to stop talking about it and you're going to have to start getting the plan together. Let's say you want to be a digital nomad, meaning a person that lives on the road. How are you going to do that? Do you want to still work on the road? Well, maybe you could teach English as a second language in Vietnam. Maybe you could become a certified yoga instructor. Maybe you could become a consultant that you can do on the road. And you put it together. And you're like, this is how it's going to happen. And then you find out when it's going to happen. And not necessarily the day, but at what point it's going to be cool. Like, how much money do you need to really live so that you can do it? Or what if you just do it? If you don't have any kids, and you don't have a mortgage, what the hell are you screwing around for? You're just afraid. Or lazy. Maybe both. Do it. Get in your car. Go. Sell the car that has the lease or the mortgage on it and get that shitty bus and just get out there. Learn how to fix cars while you're on the road. You'll learn. Get some tools. That's how you start it. By understanding where you're going. Do it. Write it down. Know where you're going. And I'll tell you, I just did my goals with Rocky yesterday. Your goals change. You're like, oh, like I look back at our last year's goals. We did some. We didn't do others. That's cool. It's really cool. It's fine. And then they're new this year. It's okay to change your mind, and it's okay to fail. So many people won't act because they're afraid to fail. Because it's embarrassing. Look, I fail all the time. I am embarrassing. I embarrass myself. Whatever. Look at me sitting up here. I'm embarrassed already for myself. There you go. How to start the journey. Start it. See you next time.